Do you want your GitHub tree to look a little bit more like your Christmas tree? I know personally my public GitHub tree has been a little barren over the last couple of months as I've been working on other projects, on like non-coding engineering tasks. It's seen better days. A few of my engineering colleagues sent me the same coding challenge, like from independent sources, so I figured I'd check it out. It's called Advent of Code. It was written by Eric Wastel, and I apologize if I mispronounced that name. It is a Advent calendar with coding challenges and problems in it, themed around some like Christmas submarine, I'm guessing. So we're gonna have to take a look at it, check it out, and I figured I'd make a little video about it. One of the first things that intrigued me about this site was the color scheme and graphics are all minimal. They've been at this calendar, it looks like for a while. It started in 2015. You have different coding challenges from 2015, so you can actually pull up all of the challenges from years past too. But for 2021, it's like a new image. Instead of a Christmas tree, we have something else formulating here. You might get some hints in the shop, I'm not sure, you'll have to check it out. Day one has a little sonar sweep mission. It looks like we have a ship at sea with the overboard alarm goes off. Okay, and it's got a Christmas tie. So apparently one of the elves tripped and accidentally sent the slave keys flying into the ocean. I think I'm gonna cut out all this explanation stuff. You get it, there's a puzzle. We have to complete the puzzle. So let's see what the coding challenge is. The actual coding challenge that we have here is a sonar sweep test, and we have a report of a bunch of depths as we cross or as we're heading into the ocean. And we want to take a look at those depths and calculate or increment how many times the depth has increased. So in this example, there are 7 measurements that are larger than the previous measurement. How many measurements are larger than the previous measurement? New me, new day, new you. It's gloomy outside. Let's get to some coding. So I was trying to figure out like how should I structure this? And I'm basically just going under the assumption of you don't have anything installed, you just want to play around with some Python. And so I found this online Python IDE, which is an interpreter that you can use to just learn some code. And partly because I reinstalled my operating system and I also didn't have anything installed, and I didn't feel like delaying the video until I had all of my stuff set back up. And I'm going to include all the descriptions, what I use, hopefully the references, all that stuff is going to be in the description below. So here we're inputting our numbers from the data set itself and setting it to like a file variable. We're extracting all those integers and inputting them into a list. So now that we have a list of the integers that came from the file, now we can start doing things with those numbers. Put in my first solution, my first answer to this puzzle. Let's see if it's correct, or if I just have to go cry in a corner for a little while. It's fine. So it's not correct. Our number's too low. We're gonna keep trying. So what I was doing wrong in this thing was I was taking in the input, getting the values, and then my comparison was backwards. Oh, I don't know how to program. What I'm seeing here is, like at the very end, I'm getting these values, like we're doing the comparison correctly, we're iterating through all the variables correctly, but I'm still getting the same numbers I got when I used a previous function. What I'm seeing here is a very simple, if-then statement. So first we just check to make sure we don't go outside of the bounds of the actual list. And then we're gonna churn through those numbers and compare the current value with the next value. Now I'm getting the correct values to be compared against each other. We have the first value being compared to the second value being compared to the third value, which is exactly what we want. I'm still getting the same answer though. I have to go back to the problem statement because I think I'm actually programming something that's not meeting the input if I'm getting the same number over and over again and it's not correct. So I think the day break and me like resetting without rereading the problem statement actually hurt me here. So let me go back to the initial problem and make sure that that's what I'm solving for. If you can imagine, what we wanted was a submarine that kind of tracks for sonar going down, and what I was doing was tracking for sonar going up. It's the complete opposite of what we need to be doing. And there you have it with this simple bracket change. It's not a bracket. With this simple one character out and misplaced and switched, or we have an entirely different answer to our solution. So now we have our new value, we have our new test. It's much larger, which was the hint in the application. So we're gonna plug this value into the solution box and see if we got it. So it's saying it's not the right value still. It's too low. I must be missing something. Hold on. Okay, you just sit there. It's okay. I feel like... Hey, Editor Nate here. I just realized as I was cutting this video together that I never described what the secondary issue was. That being when I ingested the integers from the list, it converted them to string values. And so I was trying to do a comparison against like string to string and not number to number. So it ended up just not being like a number comparison, but a string comparison. And what tripped me up about it was I was only off by one number from what I was originally inputting to what the actual solution was. So it kept making me think that it was an off by one issue, like an indexing type issue, but it ended up being that I just didn't convert the strings into integers. So I didn't actually say those words, so I wanted to just come on here and say that and then move on. So there you go. Big shout out for Levon. Thank you so much for giving me some tips during the challenge and dropping into my GitHub and letting me know a few things to consider and fix. There we go. I'm done with my challenge and the first day one practice in the Advent of Code calendar. This challenge has just definitely let me know that I'm out of practice for programming at all, and my GitHub tree definitely reflects that a little bit. Got my first star in the whole Advent calendar, and now it's time to just keep going and get the rest. I think I'm gonna cut this video here. This is just kind of like an intro to the Advent calendar. If you're interested, check out some of the resources I linked below. It's a good way to just kind of challenge yourself and get your feet wet with programming. And it's a lot of fun, and it's about, you know, calendars and elves and Christmas. So I think that'll do it for me, and I'll see you in the next one. You just being all cute? Are you just being all cute? Oh, whoa, whoa, that was a jump. Hey, I love you. I love you, puppy.